This land is your land. This land is my land. From California, well, to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf.
Welcome to Markie's World. I'm Markie Shinn, your host, and today's guest is the Human Earth Quake. He's somebody that you really need to know and to understand a whole lot about him. He's had a quite flavorful history, and he's got a really nice future coming up now, and he's doing so much for it. So earthquake or human earthquake, which one should I call you?
Human earthquake, because that's the softer side of me.
Human earthquake?
Yeah, I used to be an earthquake, now I'm human earthquake,
Oh,
because
okay.
I got a lot of feelings now.
Oh, that, you know what, that makes up that. Okay, now I don't feel so bad. Okay, human earthquake. I just thought that the name was long, but human earthquake, that's great, and I like how you explained that.
Yeah.
So tell me a little something about your history. What's going on there?
Well, I grew up on the south side of Chicago around gangsters, players, and hustlers, and in an atmosphere around players and pimps. And I became entrepreneur at 5 years old and understood the value of a pretty woman. I went on in my life to create an underground business and ran it like a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
Through the three key elements to success.
Mm-hmm.
That's discipline, dedication, and determination.
Mm-hmm.
Through my life, I had a lot of lessons life learned
Mm-hmm.
through those elements, and the rest is history.
Right. Well, it's so much. Just tell me, what have you been doing now?
Well, now I'm a life coach
Mm-hmm.
with relationships, but not just a man and a woman or a husband and wife. It could be siblings, it could be your job, any type of relationship that you may have, then I'm the man for you to help you get through it.
I know that because I've asked you a couple of questions before, remember, and I thought that they were very good answers.
Yes.
That was really nice. So with the life coaching, because I'm a life coach as well, and
Great.
Yeah. But I think that you would have a little more understanding, because mostly my stuff is through school classes. I don't have that much experience, but I know with your background that you would have more experience than even the average man.
Yeah, I've really got a lot of experience from, just being in a lot of different places in a lot of situations.
Mm-hmm.
I've been around a lot and I've experienced a lot, and I wrote a book, and even the book tells my life experience, how I made it this far.
Yeah, because the reason why you had wrote the book is because you had different types of underground type lives.
Yes, I did. It was very underground.
Yeah. What's some of the things that you did?
Yeah. Some of the things I did, I was a hustler. I hustled in the street. I played 3-card Molly. I did robberies. I sold drugs. Well, in my earlier part, I really wasn't a drug dealer, but I peddled a few drugs. I did all kind of hustles. I was a pickpocketer. I did short change. Every hustle that you can think, I tried it.
But you didn't, nothing really too much stuck except for one particular.
Right. I mean, out of all the hustles, it did nothing really fit me until I kind of, well, actually, this is nothing that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started pimping, it seemed like that was that was more my niche. So all the other hustles fell to the wayside, and that one, it actually just chose me.
Yeah.
And I made it out of a career.
Yeah, I know
for,
that you said that.
You know, a long time until I came into the light and understood the difference between right and wrong. And then I changed my life, did a 360-degree turn.
Yeah, and that's what I like about you there, is because he's always saying that it's nothing that he was proud of, because there are things that people do on a daily basis all the time, and they never know that it's not something that they would be proud of. What's that? Is that yours or mine? Oh, it's yours.
I'm gonna turn it down.
Yeah, let me turn mine. I think I'll just put mine on vibrate.
Yeah. So we can pick up what we left off.
Because
Right.
we're doing good. We're doing real good. Oh, shucks.
I turned mine off.
You turned yours off?
Well, yeah, the sound.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want it to do that.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Mine too. Let me see. Okay, mine too. All right. So one of the things that I like about Human Earth Quake is the fact that none of his past is something that he's proud of. And he'll be the first one to admit that to you. That's what I like about him, because he made, I don't know, but I can't say, I hate for people to say, well, I made mistakes, and you know, but it's not really like that, because what he does now is try to help people and try to give people advice and steering people the right way. And this is one of the things that I'm so proud of you for.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And I try to do it well. I mean, I didn't have that in my life, someone to really kind of steer me in that right direction. So I made it a duty and an obligation for me, since I took so much back, that I can give so much. I don't want to leave this earth being a minus. I want to leave this earth being a plus, so that the legacy of me having a plus continues to grow, because I want other people to learn from my mistakes.
And that's wonderful. I really like that. I like the things that you say about that, and to move on, especially when you find God and you're doing things more than just finding God. You know,
Right.
because sometimes when people have that type of past, the first thing that they do is turn to being a minister. You know
Right.
some of them that are like that.
Well, I'm not saying me. I'm not going to be a minister. I've become very spiritual, but
No,
not
that's
in that role
yeah,
of
yeah,
being
that's
a minister or a
because you know what,
preacher or
that's kind of
apostle.
that's sort of like it always make people like, you know, is this just another way of making money? Because
Right.
you know, people do not have faith in the pastors and the reverends and ministers that are out here now. But he's very good. I have to admit that he's very good with this life coaching. And I've asked him a few questions myself when, you know, he doesn't really do it for a living, but I think that with time I have been trying to encourage him, and I think some more people too, because he's very good at giving advice. He doesn't do judgment. I do know that for a fact. He doesn't do judgment, but he's very good with advice on any type of subject, and it just rolls off really fast.
Well, you know, I don't want to seem to be a preacher or anything like that, or try to get people to have faith in me. First, I try to teach people how to have faith. See, a lot of times people don't even understand about what faith is.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes if you don't know, then you don't know. But when you do know and understand it, you could develop your faith. Even with God, then when you walk by faith, it could be a lot stronger, especially when you understand what faith is all about.
Right, that is true, because it took me a long time to learn about faith myself. And when you're facing the wind, you should always have faith. That's what it's all about.
Right.
And I learned it's a way of doing it because I am a life coach. I've learned that there's a way to do things that you can have all the things that you want through faith. So that's just one of the things that we talk about. But I'm really glad that he's on the show because I also have some questions to ask him. And those being, I went online and I was trying to find the most questions that women ask about dating. And I guess he didn't really think that those were really good questions, but it's actually, I'm telling you, they are real, they are true.
Well,
and
there's no such thing as a bad question or a dumb question. All questions are good questions.
Okay, so remember the first one. If you meet someone today, now I know this is not me, but this is what was online. If you meet someone, it was 15 questions that women ask, and one of them is the telephone call. If you meet someone, should you call him or should he call you? And do you wait for this person to call you, or should you be the first one to call? If he calls you, do you pick that phone up, or do you just kind of let him stew for a little while, or should you just call him back 3 or 4 days later? Now, I don't do these type of things, but this is a question that has always come up. It even came up in a whole lot of different movies, and he didn't believe it, but this is actually a question. This is actually a question that comes up. So let's get to that one. Okay, we meet a guy. You'll say it's me. We can say it's me, but it's not really me. You meet a guy, and so we exchange telephone numbers because we hit it off pretty well. And I might be kind of excited about him, but I want to be cautious. Mm-hmm. He may be kind of excited about me, and he wants to be cautious. Which one of those people should call first?
Whoever feels like they should call. I mean, the faster you communicate, the faster y'all get to know each other. I don't think that you should wait, hesitate, or procrastinate about anything. Mm-hmm. I think that if y'all meant to be, then y'all should connect right then and there. Because y'all have to do it when y'all first meet, because while it's hot. If you cook some food, you wouldn't wait till it get cold, would you?
Yeah, and you know what, and that really does make. See, I'm the type of person that I was telling him earlier. I'm the type of person I say what's on my mind, and I do what's on my mind. So that would be a different thing with me, because I would have called you if I tell you. He said, "Well, what time will you call?" Or however we set it up, and I say, "Well, I'll call you at 6. I'm going to call you at 6 o'clock because I don't have these games to be played." But this is the thing. So now she has the number, and she's thinking, I don't want to mess this up, but I don't want him to think that I'm needy or desperate. So I'm going to wait for him to call me.
I think she has the wrong mindset. So it depends on your mindset. If she always have a negative mindset of what he think, she needs to have faith. That's what I'm telling you about. Mm-hmm. Faith and belief. She should speak things in existence that's going to happen. She should never say, well, I think he's going to believe this, and I think he's going to believe that. Because so is a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
And you know what, from you to say that is that, this is what I tell people sometimes. When you meet somebody, sometimes that person, sometimes everybody has somebody. But sometimes everybody likes 2 or 3 different people at a time. But it's always that one person. It's just like the Highlander. It's always that one person. That one person you can change. It doesn't have it. It depends on how you deliver yourself. Does that have something to do with it? On how you deliver yourself. And I think that that's how everybody get together, but it's always just that one person. It's
Yes.
only one. So how would she distinguish herself from that one? You know, being that the rest of the crowd and trying to be that one person.
Be the best she can be, being herself. Be as selfless as possible. If you're as selfless as possible, then you get more of yourself than maybe everybody else can. And that means a lot, because in a relationship it's always about the other person. It's not about you.
Right, that is true, and to be open and honest and trustworthy. If you're true to yourself, then you can be more true to other people around you.
Right.
And some people are just their whole life they go from one person to the next to the next to the next, and they're always the same type of people because they're used to all these different games that they play, and it's just really ridiculous. I don't know. Is it what's going on? Is this about sex, or I mean, is it any? I'm going to ask this one question, then we'll get back to the thing. Do you know what this one question is?
No, I do not.
Is there any truth to real love out here?
Yes.
I mean, it is. You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
It's definitely true love. When you find true love, you'll know it because you'll connect with that person. And but true love can't stay that way unless you work on it.
Right.
Relationship is like a job.
Yeah.
You constantly got to work on it because there's so many different aspects to love. There's 3 different type of love: the eros, philios, and agape. And when you capture all those particular loves all together, then hey, that's the best love that you could ever have. That's the type of love that the Bible speak about.
See, this is what my friend is selling. Just life, things about life. Just that's all that it is. And some people may not, what you just got through saying, some people may not ever understand it. And to acquire that faith, that's when you start understanding a little more about how things have come to you a lot more. Remember I told you, I said, I've been off of work for a long time, and people trying to figure out how you live the way, it's like, hey, you know what, because God grants me everything that I want.
Faith is the things that you can't see.
And it really, everybody that you meet is not somebody that is just for relationships, romantic relationships. Sometimes God brings people into your life, like me and you, man. And what I tell you, I said, I asked you
we
one
like
day.
Mud and Jeff.
Yeah, I
98 and 2. Like Heckle and Jekyll.
I said, I want you to be my friend forever. And he said, Markie, I'm already your friend forever.
Right.
And that was so wonderful.
It's
so wonderful.
It's already said. It's already done. See, I speak things in existence as they already done.
Yeah, and so
and that's faith.
Yeah, that is, and that's what I like about him, because when we met at the library, we start talking, and we just hit it off, and we were on the phone talking for a long time. We just really hit it off, and those are the type of people that God sent to me to help me on my little journey through life, and I'll tell you more about my life, when we get through, but I don't have any problems in my life. You'll learn a little more about me because I'm just positive type person. So, now now say that, he calls her, so she thinks, well, should I answer this call? Because if I answer it, I'll be desperate. I'm telling you, this is what they do. This is how they think. Men out there, pay attention. This is what they do. Oh, I might get beat up now. Men don't pay attention. Anyway, so then either they'll say, well, I'm gonna call. He'll call her, and he might be excited about meeting her, but then that connection is broke because he couldn't talk to her. You see what I'm saying? The connection, he start thinking like, well, maybe she won't call me back. Maybe I might just be somebody, you know.
Well, that's what I'm telling you about. If you think that way about yourself,
Right.
then you're already setting yourself up for failure.
That's what I'm trying to tell
That's
people.
what faith is. That's why when people look at you and they say, how do you do that? Faith is things that you can't see, but you gotta believe. Seeing is one thing and believing is another. I can see it, but do I believe it? I can see this man and I can see me being with him, but do I believe it? You have to believe it, because faith moves mountains.
You do, because when you visualize these things too, once it's said, you put it out there. Once it's said, you put it out there. Like they say, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, they said that the reason why there are drunk drivers is because you keep saying that there's mothers against drunk drivers. You keep bringing those words out there. It's going to always be drunk drivers. You keep saying war, and it's going to always be war. Let's start saying other things like peace, you know, things like that, and then we could build on that. And so, okay, now, so she says, okay, I'm not going to wait 3 days, but I'll call them back tomorrow. So she calls them and they talk. They talk, and they decide to take a date for the weekend. Hey, that's kind of normal, right?
Right.
Take the date for the weekend. They meet up at a restaurant. They sit down and talk. What are some of the things that they should be talking about?
I think they should just relax and let nature take its course. And whatever conversation that come up, let that be the conversation. I don't think that they have to have, a specific conversation. Just whatever conversation that lead them in that direction. Just be truthful and honest, and just give them their undivided attention in that particular conversation.
Right, right. So she shouldn't try to sell herself too much.
Just be herself. Just be herself and be as selfless as possible. I mean, a man going to be looking to see the things about you that completes him. That's what men look for in a woman. So if you're going to do things up to complete him, because men are visual and women go by emotion and feelings. So a man, once he see you, like I say, you got to make him believe certain things. He can see you with him, but how does he see you? See, because he's going to make up in his mind what he sees and what he sees you for.
But do men? Now this is what I say. Tell me if I'm wrong, or maybe I'm a little screwy in the head. But but this is what I say. What would attract me to somebody? The first thing is the way they look. Everybody is on a certain type of way a person look. I used to like guys that look. They were like the same height, same skin tone, same weight. They were all basic. They dressed alike. They were all basically the same type of guy, look alike, everything. You have to, I just can't like anybody, but it has to be features and stuff that I like.
Okay.
And they could have things wrong with them, and I can accept that. Because there's lots wrong here. So, so and I can accept that. But I think the first thing is on attraction. And because, come on now, you got to be attraction first.
Well, I mean, it depends. Depends on your maturity level and how you look at things.
It's my maturity.
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm saying some people, I'm not saying because they do this, they're any different. Some people don't look at the looks because it's not really.
Then I break them down.
Right.
They don't have to be good looking, but it just have to be the way I like them to look.
Well, I'm just saying it's not your looks, it's your outlook that dictates your outcome.
Right.
So
then I break them down.
So therefore, if you like a certain look, that can catch your attention.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
it's okay for a man to catch your attention or a woman to catch your attention, as far as eyes or being appetizing to the eyes. There's nothing wrong with that, because some people, they like a certain look, and then some people like a certain spirit. Like some people like a gentle spirit, or because sometimes you can meet a person and their appearance may not be good, but their spirit could be beautiful. And when you see that their spirit is so beautiful, it changes the way you look at them.
You know what? That now I'm gonna tell you this story too. I remember one time this guy, he was a CNA. He came up on my floor, and I'm not gonna give any names or anything. I'm just gonna tell this story. He came up on my floor, and I looked at him and I thought, whew, that guy is really ugly. And everybody that looked at him said, whew, that guy is really ugly. That guy is really ugly. So I said, well, you know, sometimes you shouldn't say these type of things. But I asked him, I said, this is your first day here? He said, yeah. So we sat down, we talked, and every day he was on my floor, and then I got to really know him as a person. And this guy turned out to be one of the nicest men I have ever met in my life. Not only was he one of the nicest, he was an actual man. And I never even looked at him anymore as being an ugly guy.
Right.
I did not look at him anymore at being like that. But it's not something about looks or I was actually a teenager when that happened. You know, I was, you know, my way of thinking might not have been so great, but it's not so much a ugly person. It's just like, you know, like some people may not have even they may not like the way I look. Some people don't like light-skinned girls with curly hair. You know, they may not like that type of stuff. You know, they may not.
Some people, it depends. You don't have to look so good as far as your looks.
Right.
Sometimes you can have a lot of charisma, and charisma can carry you a long way.
He sure can. But this guy was just, he turned out to be so nice that I had to, I knew he was supposed to have been on my floor one day, and I had to go on another floor and look, and I was like, wait a minute, what are you doing up here? Oh, they said, you have to come back up here on my floor. You know, I was the supervisor of this place, you know. You have to come back up here. You know, I didn't even want this guy to be on any other floor except for mine, but he was just the nicest person.
See, he captivated you.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. Yeah, he sure did. So it's not about actually looks, you know. Like I say, I was a teenager. You know, I was a teenager.
Well, beauty is only skin deep.
That's what I heard.
It's only 10% of I believe, a relationship.
Well, see, that's why I say then you break them down.
Right.
Then once you start breaking them down and you start seeing that, you know, most people are not who they claim that they are. I'm a true blue person. I've always been like that. I've always said what was on my mind, and I always did what I wanted to do. But I always felt that you have to be a certain type of way in order to get all these benefits and gifts from God. You have to be a certain type of way. But, okay, now they're out on the date. They like each other a whole lot.
Okay.
So he takes her home. No, he can't take her home. But they go on another date.
A couple of dates.
Yeah, a couple of more dates.
Okay.
And then, you know, he takes her to her door. Should she give him a kiss?
If that's what she feeling at that moment.
Oh, okay.
It depends on how she feel, and you know how they communicate.
The connection.
If they connected well, then it's nothing wrong with that. You just gotta, that the moment will set itself. I don't think you should set the moment. Just let the moment happen, because then things happen naturally. You don't want to say, okay, I'm going to pick this date, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That's kind of robotic-like. So
yeah, it is when you think
you don't
about
want
it.
that robotic
It is.
relationship in that way, because that's not a real that's like it's artificial to me.
But you know what? Oh no, I can't say out there.
Right.
I can't say that because my mom and everybody out there.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't want to say that. But anyway, but sometimes some men, I used to do relationship counseling, and they were saying that in the book, when men are, in the book, these books, and you know a little more though. The whole thing is about the chase, and then once they caught you, then the chase is over.
Okay, it depends on what they chasing.
It might just be sex.
Okay, that's normally what you chase. I mean, a dog chases his tail around, so you keep trying to catch his tail just over and over again. That's a dumb dog.
It is.
Right. Trying to catch his tail, trying to catch some tail. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, for the chase. But sometimes, if he's chasing that, you can throw his mind off. Because if it's a lot of other things about you, other attributes that you bring to the table,
see, that's what I think.
that stops all the chasing. It slows
remember when I say it could be one,
down.
everybody likes about 2 and 3 people out here,
Right.
but sometimes
So
it's
he
that
can
one.
have his eyes on the chase or whatever he have his eyes on, because that's the only thing he see about you.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just focused on that particular thing. But when you bring all these other things into play, like all these good things, now it shifts. Like, wow, she does this well, and she does this, she completes me, she does this. Now his whole mindset is different. Now I'm not saying that comes off his mind, but it's not first now. There's other things that he like better than that. See?
I see
because
what you're
now
saying.
his eyes are open to something different. He sees things about you that he needs. See, what he's chasing he might want. Wants is one thing, and needs are something else.
That is true. That's very true. So, but what if it's a guy that he's just strictly on sex? I mean, what do you do about that?
Well, I mean, you're a prize, and I don't think that you should just give up. Yes.
Okay.
I don't think you should just give up your sex that easy unless it's a mutual understanding. Like if that's something you want from him and he want from you, okay, that's a mutual understanding. But if you're looking for something different, then y'all have to be on the same page.
Now, okay.
Especially
now,
if
I
that
think
ain't what
sometimes
you
you
want
have to
from
be
him.
a little cautious because, some of these people actually have sex on the same, they get drunk.
Well, I think that's a whole different subject.
But but they be thinking that this is going to lead to something.
Well, no, I don't think so.
Oh.
I think that when I'm out for a good time, I'm out for a good time. And,
But would you advise something like that?
No, I would not advise nothing like that. Not a one-night stand. I don't think you should go get drunk and have sex with somebody. I don't think you should do nothing like that.
What about a person who has like 3 or 4 relationships, say like in 1 year, and none of them are panning out? Is this something that you think that this person probably, it's not me. I'm just telling you, I know some people that are like this though, but none of it is panning out. I would never tell these people to just stop and slow down and reassess yourself and reassess these guys that you're with, but I couldn't tell them that because nobody wants to be the bearer of bad news.
Right.
So, but since we're on this,
right,
and there are more of these type of relationships that's going on than there are. I think they get so desperate that they just being with everybody, and I can see, I have a friend that I can see the hurt in them.
Right, I think they have a false sense of what a relationship should be. They have this picture in their mind that this is how a relationship be, and this is how a man should be. And when you do that, you can't. It ain't gonna work out right because no one is like you, and can't nobody beat you being you but you.
Mm-hmm.
So you thinking about the opposite sex now. They don't think like you. They're
Right.
not like you.
Right.
So you expecting them to be this certain type of person. And it's
Right.
not about you. It's about understanding them and seeing their shortcomings and seeing, where you can get along with them and understanding them. If you just thinking about, okay, well, this is how a man should be, this is what he should do, and this is how things should fall, then I don't think it's never going to work out like that because nobody is you.
Mm-hmm. And
now, you can be good at being by yourself because everything you do is for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And first of all, if you want to be with somebody, you have to first stop thinking singular if you want to be plural.
You know what? That's what my cousin just got through saying. She said that you have to start thinking like a person who's actually married. You have to start dressing like, if you're trying to get somebody's attention, you have to start dressing appropriately for, I guess, the type of guy that you're trying to look for.
But other than that, it's a personality adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
You can wear a lot of different things, but it's really not your outer appearance you need to change. It's the inner appearance that you need to change.
That is true.
You have to change and condition your mind because it's been that way so long. So it's hard to redirect the way a person thinks. So, but if you study repeated and repetitive and consistently change, because the flush is always pulling what it wants.
I think they get stuck in this one little way of thinking that they don't know how to come up out of. You have to watch my show a little more often, and then you can see. And I have the Human Earth Quake to tell you a little more about that.
Right.
So, and learn a whole lot more because you can always learn something from somebody.
Right. Never put a ceiling over your head.
Yeah, you can always
try to reach the sun and the moon. Though you fall among the stars. So you're always ahead of them.
Mm-hmm. So now the next question is, should they ask that? It was on here. Should they ask if he actually cares about? Now they'd had sex and I think they, she says now, well, do you really care? Should she ask? Do you really care about me? Or, what type of relationship? Should you ask, where is this relationship going?
Well,
or should you just wait and see?
I think that questions are always good because questions a person should always look at questions like a person is trying to be confident by you, confident. So if I ask you a question, I want you to confident me. I want you to make me feel a certain type of way because...
Right, because that's something that's on their mind and they need to have an answer.
I think questions are good. Questions mean that I'm open to you. I'm looking for an explanation or a reason. I want to understand you and how you feel. So questions are always, when a person starts asking you questions, that's always good.
That's really good. And what if the guy says, well, I don't know yet. Let me think about all this. I gotta see, let's just, come on, why we just can, just let, day by day. Well, some guys out there.
Well, evidently, I would tell them, go regroup. And maybe it's something that you're doing that's stopping the flow. Go regroup. Try it again. Think about the things you're not doing. Because if he not receptive of your questions, then that's somewhat, he's not as interested as he should be. Not saying he can't get interested, but it gives you a chance to regroup and then come back stronger. Like there's something that maybe you might be lacking in. So now it's better to start paying more attention to him and start getting little signs from him, like how to open him up, because every man got a weak spot. So you have to start maybe focusing, concentrating on where his weak spot is.
Yep, that is true. I've heard that before. So I'm going to end this right now because I don't want to give you too much of the human earthquake. He'll be back. Trust me, he will be back because he's got too much information in here. He's like a little computer. All that stuff going on in his head. So he'll be back. And Human Earthquake.
Yes.
I'm really glad that you came on my show.
It's a pleasure to be here with you, my friend.
Oh,
My
no.
ace coon bone.
That's right. He's wonderful. He is really a wonderful person, and I want you to get to know him as much as I know him. And so we're gonna talk to him a little more another time. So thank you for viewing in, and see you later on Markie's World. Bye bye.
This land is your land.